So, Mom, usually there are two jerseys behind me. Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, they're not here because they're missing in real life and they're missing from my wall. Roll the intro.
Take note.
Big Beach! We're here.
I'm at Alan.
It's different this time.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? The Knicks lose a crucial Game 3 in Atlanta, 105-94. But it felt way worse than that. It felt like we lost by 30. Horrible performance on the road. Shout out to Derrick Rose, the only guy who showed up.
The only person who was scoring.
Only person doing anything. We're going to talk about him. But a really disappointing night after all the high of Game 2. Knowing we're going on the road, we expected to see a bounce back tonight. And honestly, it was the worst game of the series for us.
Well, I told you all along, right? Playoff basketball is a different level of basketball. I told you that from the beginning. You even also told me, and we had discussion about the fact that a lot of these elite teams, regular season basketball is like whatever for them, right? For us, regular season basketball was us playing really hard and fighting and grinding. So now when all these other teams have taken it up to the next level, including Atlanta, by the way, because Atlanta is a team that last year also only won 20 games, right? They won 20 games, we won 21. So they were also really low down last year. They also, they were right neck and neck with us. So they were, we won the same amount of games this year. They just happened to come into fourth place and we got, fifth place. So the thing is, they stepped up their basketball. They completely outplayed us. And as far as I'm concerned, the only reason that we are playing the way we're playing right now is because we have no confidence. The guys are playing with no confidence. Derrick Rose and Gibson are the only two guys. They're not the only two with playoff experience. I know that. Who are the other two? I think did Burks have some?
Burks maybe. Has some from Utah. Right. The guys have experience in there. But obviously Taj and Derrick got ridiculous experience because they went
right.
Deep.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's happening is our team is falling apart. The team is falling apart. Randle has not yet got into his groove. He's not yet felt comfortable. He's not yet been able to start sort of moving the ball and scoring or making plays, even if he's not scoring. He's hesitant to even score. I'm watching him when he gets to a position where he normally would be shooting the ball and he's looking for the next person to throw it to. He doesn't even want to try. The times that he is trying is kind of when he's almost sort of forced that he has to. The one good thing I would say that happened out of this game, however, that I got to see was them getting to the free throw line and learning how to stop the clock and make points, because they were fantastic at the free throw line today. I don't think I've ever seen them make points like that. So that was the only silver lining that I'm really finding from this game tonight. And to be honest with you, Atlanta's winning the game on Sunday, unless, like you said, those two guys who are not behind you, RJ and Randle, show up. They haven't played yet. They haven't been able to step up and play in the playoffs yet. And it's quite worrying. It's quite worrying to me.
It's worrying in a sense. Now, taking a step back again, remember what this season is. This is all about experience. Us even losing in the first round, I'm hitting things. Us even losing in the first round is literally, oh, good, they're getting some playoff experience, right? So obviously, in the middle of a series, that's not something you want to hear,
right? Especially
given the season we just had. Julius Randle was 2 for 15 tonight. Here's the thing. Randle isn't just playing bad. Randle is playing atrociously. Randle's playing like he doesn't belong on the court. You talk about playoff experience, Obi Toppin is playing pretty free. Toppin is looking a lot better than Julius Randle right now. And I know
Obi Toppin in quickly. Roles. I told you that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different roles. Obviously, not the same thing. If we had to put Obi out there for 40 minutes a game, with the defense on him, it's not the same game. But for me, I look at it like this. Julius Randle is playing so bad. And we were literally in the first two games. And even tonight, we should have lost by way more. There were moments where we were still getting within 10 points. Near the end of the third quarter, Burks missed the three.
Man.
And Rose missed, and it was so close. They came back, Bogdanovich hit a three, and that ended it. Julius Randle is giving us nothing. And the thing is, this season,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. So I have to cut you here because Julius Randle, when he played on that same court in Atlanta, I think scored in excess of 30 points each time, even 40 points. Even 40 points one game. So that goes to show.
44-point game against Atlanta.
Right. It was. So that goes to show you he can play against this team. But like I said, there's two things that have happened. One, it's the
Mavericks.
playoffs.
It was the Mavs.
It was the Mavericks. Okay. So one is the playoffs. So the Atlanta Hawks have taken their game to the next level, and we haven't.
It was the Hawks too. I forgot.
See?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean,
you're right. They've jumped up.
So they've jumped up. They've jumped up, and now here's the thing. Here's the reason why I think they're winning on Sunday. Because after tonight's performance, they have so much confidence knowing that they can beat us, right? So now, for them going on Sunday, to me, they're winning the game. They're winning the game unless we come with a completely different game plan.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, Derrick Rose tonight, we're going to talk about him a little bit. He scored 30 points. He was incredible tonight. Like, just carrying us in a role that's not his role. He's not supposed to be playing this many minutes, not supposed to be the number one option on offense. Derrick Rose shot 62% tonight from the field, 60% from three, 30 points, 5 or 6 rebounds. He played like a complete superstar, right?
Yeah.
The crazy thing about this is we don't even need Randle and RJ right now, the way they're playing. They don't even need to be as good as they were in the regular season. If Randle could just play...
Be half as good? Half as good?
The thing is, Derrick Rose, you talk about leveling up. Derrick Rose has leveled up literally from, bench potential 6-man of the year candidate. The way he's been playing in these games so far in this playoffs. If you didn't know who he was, didn't know his injury history, and just thought this was a guy playing basketball, you would be like, oh, he's one of the better, one of the top 20 players in the league. That's how he's been playing these playoffs, right?
Right.
So the fact that you get that jump from Derrick Rose, and now you're seeing him perform on a higher level. All RJ and Randle needed to do was be somewhere halfway, 60% of what they were, and we'd be winning these games. Randle giving us 14 points. This is a guy, like we said, he scored 44 against the Hawks in the season. In the regular season, he's constantly getting us over 25. You can literally just do addition and see that there's a big gap in what we normally get, right? RJ tonight, poor again, 7 points, 2 for 9. And the thing is, you said it, they're out of it. They mentally look out of it. They look timid. They're overthinking. Randle hit a big 3 at the end of the first quarter.
I know.
1 second. It was a big moment because it was a 6-point swing real quick. And he had 1 second to shoot. And he shot and hit it. And I'm like, see, he's not thinking. Because he had to shoot. And I'm like, just give him, at this point, I'm like, I don't know what you do. Another thing, we're going to get into this, but I want to talk about Derrick Rose. I mean, what are you going to say about him? Like, what more can he do?
Wow. I actually started getting pissed when he was shooting, not because he was shooting, because he's the only person giving us points anyway, but I was kind of like, really? This is you're only going to throw the ball to him? But it was almost like they had to. What was their other option? But I felt bad, and I feel bad for him because right now he's carrying the entire team, and the team is not stepping up to meet him. The team is not stepping up. Listen, Derrick Rose, this is a mental game. I tell you this all the time. Derrick Rose is going to have to meet with these guys tonight and tomorrow and get into their head because they have to step up to meet him. He cannot be the only one stepping up. Shout out to Reggie Bullock and shout out to Nerlens Noel too, because I do think that and Burks, because I do think that those three guys are playing. I still think that they're playing. They're playing kind of up there.
And look at Taj. And you brought up Taj before, of course. Taj has been incredible for what he's asked to do. But really, I mean, like Obi, that's the thing. I mean, I know you're right. It is, I mean, we know it's a mental game, right? That's a given. It's a mental game. And the weird thing about experience is, of course, experience matters, but sometimes literally just playing the sport matters. Ja Morant scored 47 points. You know what I mean? Now, Ja Morant is a beast. I don't want to get into that. But I'm like, sometimes even just being young and in it, you just play it free. You notice, right, in that fourth quarter, when we, the only stretch of this game where we played good basketball was literally Derrick Rose, Obi Toppin, right? Emmanuel Coffey
Randle and RJ were actually sitting on the bench. They were both sitting on the bench.
We made a little run, we made a little comeback, and they were playing free. So I'm like, Tibbs has got to figure this out. Obviously, tonight he benches Alfred Payton, doesn't play him at all.
Yeah.
But I really don't think that is, why this happened. Alfred has been horrible, and it's just not working there. I'm going to bring this up again because we have not come close to stopping Trae Young. And we saw some moments in Game 3 where I felt we were a little bit physical with him. We're letting him do what he wants. And I will say this. At what point do you not put Frank on him for a decent amount of time? Not at the end of the game. I'm not trying to defend Frank here, right?
Right.
Yes, he straight up got beat on that last play. Trae Young said it after the game. He said he knew with Frank, you got to make a move quickly because if you stay too long and you dribble the ball and mess around with it, Frank's a good defender. He can get in the way. Frank didn't react quickly. I've seen Frank get beaten by really fast guys before. So I know sometimes when guys are super small and speedy, I don't say he struggles, but he can get beat. But the thing with Frank, to me, that makes him who he can be on the defensive end is he's annoying. and he stays with you for a long period of time, not just one play. So if you put Frank, the thing is, I know it's crazy to say Frank should start, right? And it's not even that he should start because he's going to give us anything on offense. I don't even trust him to run the offense, to be honest.
Right.
But I'm looking at it like this. The spark off the bench is missed a little bit when Derrick Rose isn't there. Right. I don't think that's the number one thing, because I think if Randle and RJ play well, even with Derrick Rose starting, we'll be fine. But I will say this. Why not, at this point, why not give it like beginning of the game?
Slow down Trae. Slow down Trae. Don't let Trae go on a run. Don't let Trae start scoring right off the bat, because then now they have points. Listen, we were playing catch up the whole game. We were playing catch up. Yeah. And that's not the position that you want to be in. So I agree with you. I actually thought of it the other day. I was like, wait a minute, why don't we just start Frank? Like, what the hell? Like, just do it, because
that's the thing.
If anything, it's going to be something a little bit different that Atlanta's not going to be expecting, right? So, and even if it stops Trae scoring 50%, that's 50%, you know. And Frank is that annoying. He has the very long wingspan, so Frank can be that annoying person. Plus, it gives him a little juice in the game to feel a little comfortable and feel a little warm. So then when you want to throw him in, and so you know what, for me, Frank should be used exactly like you said. Frank should be used to defend Trae. That's it. Defend Trae. So when they see him going on that run and he's getting a heat check, that's Trae, that is, bring Frank in. So, you know, and end of each quarter, bring Frank in to sort of start frustrating him. Right? And it's almost like a new person on the floor who they haven't really been able to like really watch and observe to see how they should react around him. Even though, yes, I know Trae has played obviously against him and so knows some of his stuff, but try something else. Because we're not stopping him. We're letting this little guy score from wherever he wants to score. They're not even double teaming him. They're not double teaming him. They're not throwing him down. So what are you doing?
We are trapping him a bit. The thing is, to be honest, Trae Young's a better passer than shooter, which a lot of people don't realize. He's constantly finding guys. He has great touch on his passes. Bogdanovic is having a great series because Trae Young is finding him. He's finding Capella. He's finding his floaters working. Like, Trae Young is obviously a big young budding star. What I was saying before is Tibbs used to start Keith Bogans for the Chicago Bulls, and he would bring him on, start like 8 minutes, and then he wouldn't play the rest of the game. I'm not even saying Frank needs to be playing major minutes, but I look at it like this: Trae Young is having his way with our team. Derrick Rose can't defend him enough to still do what he needs to do on offense. Clearly. Had Elfrid Payton played like even a regular version of himself, he probably would still be playing, but he's been so bad for weeks. He's been kind of bad the whole season, but the last few weeks he's been horrible. And then, especially starting the playoffs, I really thought he'd play a little bit better. He's been worse than ever. So I get why he's out the rotation, and I agree with it, right? But at this point where Trae Young is just doing this over and over and over and over, I'm like, you gotta find another solution.
There's no answer for him.
There's no answer for him. Solution. And the thing is, we've seen this. We've seen Frank get put on a guy, and the whole defensive effort just picks up a little bit because he's playing that effort.
Yep.
I know people in the comments might say where Frank stands, we're trying to put him, but I'm literally looking at the team right now, and I'm like, I've been annoyed that we spent 3 games of watching Trae Young do whatever he wanted. And he's tiny, and this doesn't make sense.
After game one, that should have been a wrap. It should have been like, all right, forget after game one, before game one. What were we talking about before the series even started? One of the topics that we actually had when I did the show with the girls, one of the topics specifically was, how do we stop Trae Young? So if we're talking about it, of course they're talking about it in the locker room. Come on. Or not not even the locker room. In Thibs' school of basketball, they're talking about how do we stop Trae Young? So what is the plan? Where is the plan, and why was it not executed? You can't tell me they didn't have a plan. You cannot tell me that Tibbs does not have a plan for Trae. Even if the plan they have is not working. What was the plan? And so if that plan is not working, what's plan B? Or plan 2, or what's the next way that you
plan
go?
Plan Z at this point.
You're watching tape. They watch it. I know that Tibbs has these guys watching tape. We know he's a basketball junkie. We know that Tibbs is in his basketball, talking about eat, sleep, drink it, right? So I know that he is watching what's going on, and he's saying, okay, this is what Trae is doing. What can we do to stop him? So what is the plan? Like, I want to know. I want to know what is the plan.
Listen, it comes down to this. Obviously we're not stopping Trae 20-14, but the crazy thing about all the Trae Young talk is Julius Randle is literally not playing in this series. Like, this is the thing. All this talk, right? All this talk about Trae, we got to stop, which we do.
Right.
We've got
what about our guy?
If this is the thing, if Randle was matching Trae, if Randle was, we'd be winning these games. Actually, what's crazy is, we haven't even had a good RJ or Randle game. You know, sometimes we get a good Randle game, not a good RJ, or then some days we'll play good together, or be opposite. So through six halves so far, right? There's been one half where Julius was pretty good, which is the end of game two, right? But even then, it wasn't amazing. You know, but he was still pretty decent. Outside of that, poor quarters everywhere. Yeah. And it's really sad to see them shrink at this stage after the work they put in, because now it's the national stage. Yeah. You see they chanted overrated at Randle tonight.
I was just gonna tell you that. And you know something? What I don't want to happen, because I do see Atlanta winning the game on Sunday, right? And then us coming back, and I don't know what's gonna happen at that point. But I don't want this season to end on such a sour note for Julius Randle, because it's going to be really tough to pull him back out of this funk, because he went through this funk last year. He went through this already. He was booed. People were talking shit about him. He turned his game around. We fell in love with him. He had an amazing, he won the most improved players. So for the league. So he did all of this. And I know they have a couple of different sayings about, how you play in the playoffs or how you play in the regular season. And then you can become a star in the regular season, but a superstar, I guess, in the playoff season.
Yeah.
It's not exactly that, but it's something along those lines. Listen, Julius is not showing us that right now. And you already know we get clowned already. So it's going to be, you guys won that one game. That's all you could do. I will say this. Us playing in the playoffs is how you get playoff experience, right?
Exactly.
So we're playing badly. We are going to be remembering this. Hopefully it can actually be turned around. Hopefully it can be turned around by Sunday, to be honest. I'm a Knicks fan, so that's why I want us to win on Sunday. The way I feel is that we're not going to win on Sunday, especially after tonight's performance, not just for us, but for Atlanta, because Atlanta now sees that they can overpower us. Atlanta now sees they can outplay us, and they know what to do. So unless we come different, it's different this time. Unless we come different, they're gonna win the game. They're gonna win the game with ease.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Listen, that's what the series back and forth, adjustments each way, the double team, they're helping off of the shooters so well on Randle. We spoke last time about the soft double, right, where you don't double all the way, but you double and still make sure, and they're hedging off the guys so perfectly. You see Randle throwing away the ball a lot.
Yep.
So there's still a lot of things to work on. As for Julius overall, can't take away anything from this season. Incredible year. But this is where, like you said, you take that next step. I don't doubt that even if he has a bad season, I think seeing what he did this year, he's going to work even harder in the summer, because, he had his first bad year with the Knicks, then got better. So now he had his first bad playoff with the Knicks, and then get better, etc. So I'm not worried about, he seems like that kind of guy, but in this series, in this moment, why wait till the summer to think about what you could regret from what's happening right now? Right? They got to lock in. The thing about Randle that's this upsetting, I think, for all of us, is we're watching him and he's missing open shots. This isn't even, I know I spoke about the defense before. Yes, they're scheming for him. Props to Nate McMillan, good coach, of course. But Julius Randle is doing stuff that he did all season long and just doing it worse. He's missing open threes. He's doing for his baseline jumper, the one that he loves when he goes towards the baseline, hits his fadeaway. He's missing those. I know he had turnovers in the season, but he's just struggling mentally. And it is sad to watch. Julius and RJ too, man. You see, RJ's kind of getting away here. He's a younger player, of course, but RJ's been really bad, and it's rough to watch. These guys gotta get angry. They gotta get physical. They gotta come out in Game 4 and punch Atlanta in the mouth. I will say this to end: if anyone's gonna have them pissed and angry and focused, it's Tibbs. I don't know if the game plan's gonna be what we need, but I can't believe they come out in Game 4 and look dead. You know what I mean? They have to get a split in Atlanta. If you get out of Atlanta at 2-2, you're actually fine, because then you just got to win the home games. You just got to win the home games. You could win game 5, lose game 6, win game 7. Don't want to go there. Guys, thanks for watching. We are out. Peace.